Hello, good evening and welcome to TTTV. My name is Andy Campbell and tonight it is Saturday evening. We are back for round number 3 of the Project Cars 2 Formula C League here on TTTV. We are at the Silverstone International Circuit layout here tonight, so it's a short version that uses the Grand Prix track up to Village Corner where the loop is. It takes you down the Wellington Straight. We're going to bypass across there and back on to our chapel as it takes you onto the Hangar Straight. So very, very short layout. You can see we're already heading straight to the lobby already for what is going to be the first race of the evening. We've got 13 drivers, I do believe, here tonight as well, which is absolutely fantastic. See, I'm just going to check my microphone quality is working well. Yes, it is. Fantastic. Hopefully that lasts for the whole night. So there you go. So yeah, few additional drivers have joined the league since last week. Last week at Snetterton, we've seen, well, Crusher Bro make pretty much a crushing debut. Pole position, 2 fastest laps and 2 race victories at Snetterton, so he'll be hoping to try and repeat that here tonight. But it was Gero who takes over the championship lead at the top. He's now on 94 points with Lyronix on 83, McKinda for you is on 76, Jazza and Alan Kay tied for 4th on 73, Crusher on 58 after that brilliant start last week, Mason 52, Plaster on 50, Ben on 47, and Sean rounds out the top 10 on 38 points. We're just waiting for the drivers to get themselves ready for the first evening of the race, and you can see it's Alan Kay who gets the randomised grid pole position here with new driver Siege, who a lot of guys will know from TTFL and TTL F1 etc, so he's in here as well now. It's great to have him along. Plaster will be 3rd, Crusher Bro in 4th, McKinda you in 5th, Gero in 6th, so we've got a few drivers there in the middle of it. That's going to be really fun to watch. Mays 7th, the Zebra, a new driver as well, Billy there in 8th position, Jazza in 9th, Benz in 10th, Maximus 11th, Rappy maybe another new driver as well here this evening in 12th, and Lyronix, the unfortunate one that has to start this 15-minute sprint race from the back of the grid. So that's the joys of this one. We can't do it in championship order as I would really like to, because I'd love to do it as a reverse championship order grid, but there you go, game doesn't allow for that. And you can see the camera angle here is, well, it's not the greatest, let's be honest. It keeps zooming in pretty badly, so I'm just going to jump through the drivers just to make sure we get this as the lights are on. And we're underway for the first time this evening. Let's see who gets the best start as they head towards turn number 1. And what a shocking camera angle that one is. And at the top of the boards it's Siege who jumps into the lead through Abbey Curb. Crusher Bro already up into 2nd place with Plaster in 3rd. That is Gero going through in the 4th place. Alan Kay there in 5th. And we've got some action going on behind as they come into the loop for the first time. There's the Zebra going side by side. McKinda for you in there as well. And Alan Kay dropping back from pole position, being passed now by Rappy as well into the right-hander. It leads us onto the Hangar Straight for the first time. And you can see there at the back it is Lyronix catching his way through, and we'll just wait and see. We've got someone missing a rear wing. That's Ben with no rear wing on the back of his car, and Lyronix looks like he might be missing his front wing. He is indeed, so damage there already to 2 cars. We're going to jump back through the field as Siege and the Crusher Bro are having a battle going into Abbey Chicane. Sorry, into the, I've got the corner names all wrong, doesn't matter, into the chicane at the end of the lap, and Crusher Bro bit sideways there on the exit, but he's got through ahead of Siege into 1st place at the end of lap number 1. Gero up in the 3rd. These guys have already pulled clear of Jazza, who's in 4th place, getting a bit of a tank slapper on there, with the Zebra in 5th, McKinda you in 6th, Rappy in 7th, then you've got Plaster and Alan Kay 8th and 9th, and Maximus in 10th position, so 5th all the way. Whoa, big moment there for one of the cars. That was for Plaster, getting a big sideways through Abbey Curb there. It drops him down to 10th place. You can see Alan Kay having a bit of a battle with Rappy there, and we've got a car off the track as well at the side of the road. Where is it? Who was it? It was McKinda for you, missing his front wing now. So that is more damage there for the number 10 car this time, and we'll see if anyone else has picked up any damage as they come down the Hangar Straight. You can see that's Jazza there ahead. Anyone else picked up any damage? It doesn't look like it, as we see Maximus coming through the middle of Lyronix, and I believe that to be Alan Kay onto the side here, and he's going to try and go through the middle, 3 wide into Stowe corner. Maximus has got it sideways coming through there. Camera angles in this aren't entirely good. We've got a car off in the background there, and that is Lyronix who's got Rappy who's got ahead from Alan Kay. Maximus, Plaster, the Zebra in 9th, Mason 10th, McKinda for you now in pit lane, and Lyronix got a hover car by the looks of it. He's all the way down the back after having to make a pit stop already. Up front, the Crusher Bro has already got himself 1.5 seconds clear of Siege in second. Gero keeping close tabs on the newcomer Siege to the season, 3rd place. They're already 6 seconds clear of Jazza, who's in 4th. Rappy's moved himself up into 5th place. Maximus into 6th. Alan Kay having a look up the inside in 7th. There's Plaster with the Zebra there, the American going through, and the American makes a move there. Zebra moving through into 8th position, so that's a good move there for him to gain another place. Plaster's going to try and see if he can make a move back down the hangar straight up front. Gero still looking onto the back of Siege, is having to go a bit defensive there, but cuts the line off nicely. Maximus has pulled a bit of a gap to Alan Kay, with a Zebra in there just behind. McKinda for you just coming out of pit lane, as Lyronix and his hover car goes through Abbey Curve to retake over 11th place. But Crusher Bro 2.5 seconds clear. It's looking like early days already for another dominating performance here at the Silverstone International Circuit, and Gero has moved himself up into P2. So we missed that one there, as I was too busy keeping an eye on what was going on behind. Maze has just moved up into 9th position ahead of Plaster, I believe that will be. Sorry, maybe Alan Kay going backwards actually, because Plaster's moved up to 8th position looking at the race feed on the bottom right hand side. Let's have a look. Yeah, there is Plaster in 8th, Maze 9th, Alan Kay down in 10th and dropped back, so he's obviously had a spin somewhere along the line there, as Rappy's catching up pretty quickly to the back of Jazza. Jazza running wide, taking half of the cones with him that separate the Grand Prix track from this international layout. Crusher Bro with a fastest Sector 1 and Sector 2 times, and you can see in the background McKinda for you. In fact, no, it's not, it's he's actually there getting lapped by the race leader already, having to make that pit stop due to the damage. Ben's already retired from the race, so we're down to 12 drivers from 13 starters. And the Zebra catching up to that. In fact, Maximus is going wide through Stowe corner there. It's going to put the two of them side by side as they come up into the club chicane. And the Zebra has to back out for now as Maximus brakes much later. Oh, there's contact between the basically teammates. They're running the 9 and 10 car. Any damage to the two of them? Doesn't look like it from here. That puts Plaster up into 6th position there, as Maximus got a bit deep into club corner, came back through. Zebra just caught the back of him there to came back on track, so that's lost them both a place each. And Rappy now just catching the end of this, coming through the loop section at the top end of the track, and he has moved ahead of Jazza. Jazza's going to try and brake late on the brakes there into the right hander onto the back of Hangar Straight. He's unable to do so as we run through. You can see on the side there, coming up the gears, Jazza drops down to 5th. Can he take a run under the slipstream to get through into Stowe corner? He's going to go very late in the brakes. He's going to make a chance in it, but he'll have to back out at the last second. I think it's better off it. But swirly going through there as well. That's worked not too good there, as Man of Steel's in the chat, obviously giving a shout for Jazza, as he has done each week so far. Great to have you along as well again my friend. Maximus still in 7th, trying to gain that place back from Plaster. The Crusher Bro is still in the lead, but Gero's got the gap down a little bit. It was nearly up to 3 seconds. The Spaniard's got it down to 2.3, and he's managed to drop Siege, who's in the 3rd place in the number 30 car. That car reminds me of the old Benetton. You remember the green, yellow, red and blue one? Really, that's what that one reminds me of. So there you go, going a bit retro. And here Jazza's off the track, so he's made a mistake. He wasn't too far behind Rappy, but he's made a mistake there. Maximus onto the back of Plaster. The Zebra's still there as well. They're coming through the corners just now. Let's see if anyone can make any difference here. Back onto the Hangar Straight. Plaster keeping a hold of the position for the meantime. Zebra in behind, and McKinda for you in there. Maximus as well. down towards Stoke Corner. That's what I had to remember. Sorry, I was too busy having a wee check on something there, because I've been making a mistake when it comes to Mick Kinda For You. I've been calling him, I've been saying he is a Slovakian. He's not, he's actually from Slovenia. So I said I would correct that this week, so apologies to him, calling him a Slovak when he's actually a Slovenian. So there you go. The Zebra has moved up into 7th place ahead of Maximus there. So that's another move for position. Gerald not able to close any further up onto the back of Crusher. Halfway through race number 1 already as time flies by in this sprint race. Siege not too far off the back of Gero. He's still within touching distance, about 2 seconds. Plaster makes a mistake there. It's going to be an easy move for the Zebra up into 6th position, but you can see Plaster's fighting back. Oh, that's a shot. Oh my goodness, no, damage everywhere. Maximus tried to put it up the inside. That looked like just a really late and silly move there from Maximus. From that point of view, he's just wiped out both the Zebra and his own teammate there of teammate Zebra, and also Plaster. He's got wing damage, puts Alan Kay up, Maze up as well. You see Maximus with front wing damage, Zebra's got front wing damage, and Plaster with front wing damage. And from there, it looked like it was just too much of an attempt to get that car through from Maximus, and he's carried on. The Zebra's heading into pit lane to repair that front wing. Plaster has carried on without that front wing, so he's going to understeer like absolute crazy. He's going to be like an absolute shopping cart going through the corners. But from that, I'll reserve full judgment until we see point of views. But that looked like that was Maximus just trying much too hard to get up the inside there, and clattered into the side of the Zebra, and thus Plaster as well. Maze and Alan Kay won't be too fussed about it though, because that has put them up into 6th and 7th position. Jazz is still ahead of him in 5th. Rappy's managed to get 5 seconds clear of him in 4th. Siege not too far ahead, and that car there you do see is Lyronix, who is obviously debuting the Dallara hover car here tonight. As you can see, it just floats about 5 inches off the ground. Certainly not a ground effects car, that one. Alan Kay now onto the back of Maze, coming into Stoke Corner. These two have always been pretty close on the track at all 3 races so far tonight, proving to be no different for round number 3. They come into the club chicane. Nice and easy goes the Irishman through there. You can see he's running no assists at all. Maze up ahead is running some of the ABS and traction control. Man of Steel, I'm guessing you were talking about Jazza doing his groundskeeping again. That's quite possible. Done a few bits of it last week. Plaster comes into pit lane with that front wing damage. Maximus is going to carry on in his shopping cart. And he's that's self-inflicted stuff in that one though, because, well, he done that one to himself. But anyway, coming back up, Alan Kay going to take the long way round turn number 3 to try and get a good run towards the hangar straight. And if you can just get in a good position to put Maze out of place before coming onto this corner, could be into a very good place. Here we are on board with the front wing camera of the Irishman's car coming down the hangar straight. You can see Maze is sticking to the left hand side very, very early on indeed in the move, so he's going to want to keep to the racing line now. Alan Kay, does he fancy chancing it up the inside? No, he doesn't. Very, very gentle on the brakes he is, to just take a little bit of speed off going into the corner. Maximus now onto the back of Lyronix hover car, coming down the back hangar straight, but not able to get close enough on this occasion. And Gero has got the gap down to Crusher Bro at 1.5 seconds. You can see their lap times, 1 minute 7.020 and a 1 minute 7.052. They're pretty much exactly the same times. Is very, very close. And now Gero a 1 minute 6.2 to a 1.75 from Maximus, Crusher Bro, sorry, that time by. So the Spaniard is closing. Maximus has came into pit lane. Alan Kay running wide through there. That's going to allow, that was Crusher Bro, I do believe, going past there to lap the Irishman. On board with Gero now. That is Alan Kay behind Maze up ahead. Yeah, we have hovercraft, shopping carts and lawnmowers racing time. We've got a mix of everything here on TTTV this evening, so you know, you're not shy. Name your discipline and we probably got it here this evening, but it gives us something to have a chuckle about, that is for sure. Mays staying out of the way as he allows Gero to go back through as well. Maximus now out of pit lane, and he'll be the next one to be up ahead, being lapped in a moment. 2.5 minutes to go, so 2 more laps I would say roughly in this race, maybe 3, depending on how quick they get round the second lap. And Gero now is within 1 second off the race leader. As you can see, Maximus has just been passed by Plaster, coming out of the loop section and back towards the hangar straight, and he'll be quite happy at doing that, considering it was Maximus that caused the issue that's dropped him down the field. Alan Kay back closing up behind Mays, but we're going to concentrate on the lead battle because it is starting to get ever close up front. We're on board with the Spaniard Gero. You can see Crusher Bro going to the right and then just pulling back to the left just to try and break the slipstream a little bit off the Spaniard's car behind. They come into Stowe Corner, minute 56 to go, so should be able to get 2 more laps in before the timer runs out. So he's got 1 this lap and the next lap, I would say, as Gero, to see if he can stop the Crusher Bro from taking a 3rd victory in a row in this series, and it would be his 3rd win out of 3 as well if he was to do so. Meanwhile, Alan Kay has got Siege coming up to lap him behind, and Siege goes through and past on Alan Kay there. Plaster's picked himself up a little penalty somewhere, I do believe, because he's got the red at the side. Maximus is off the track again, so that's not good for him. He's had a number of incidents, and I get the feeling he might be in the steward's room at the end of this one. But we're going to concentrate now for the rest of this timed race on the battle for the lead. It is 8/10 of a second. You've got a lapped car up ahead, which is that of Plaster. Up in the distance you can see Crusher Bro just trying to break that slipstream. He's far enough ahead of Gero that he can do that going down the hangar straight there. If Gero gets any closer, then he would have to stick to one line or the other. Alan Kay has now got Lyronix's hover car closing in behind him. 2nd place in the championship. Got caught up in that first lap incident, dropped him down the field, so he's trying to make up as much points as he can, coming towards the end of Stowe Corner. But we'll jump back here to Gero and Crusher Bro. They cross the line to complete lap 13 to start the 14th lap, and this will be the final lap of the sprint race, because you can see at the top of the screen as Lyronix has just gone through on Alan Kay and up in the 7th, but this is the last lap now because the timer is about to run out. That's Lyronix through on Alan Kay up into 7th place. Can the Spaniard do anything on the number 2 machine? Coming up to the hangar straight for the last time. Bit sideways, bit squirrely coming out. It looks like Gero's not going to be close enough to get close enough to make a move. I'm tripping over my words thinking what I was trying to say there, and I finally managed to spit it out. Into Stowe Corner for the last time in the sprint race. Oh, Crusher Bro's lost it! He's gone wide. Where is he? He's on the grass at the final corner. He's chucked it all away. Unbelievable. He's just into the final 2 corners now, and he's chucked it away going through Stowe. Unbelievable. The Spaniard's going to move through into 1st position at the last moment, and Gero crosses the line to take the victory in the sprint race, and it should have been the Crusher Bro, but he threw it away, spinning the wheels up coming out of Stowe Corner, and he's chucked away a race victory. Unbelievable stuff. He'll still take 2nd. Siege comes across for a debut podium on his 1st race as well, so good result for him. Rappy is going to come across the line very shortly as well. He's going to take 4th place. You can see Jazza behind him 5th. Alan Kay comes across in 7th place. Lyronix in the hover car in 6th, got ahead of Mays. Mays has dropped down the field. He's in 8th, battling with McKinda for you. Drag race for the line for 8th place. And Mays holds on to it just in the nick of time there. Made a mistake, that's allowed Alan through. The Zebra coming through to take 10th place. Plaster's already finished in 11th. And Maximus takes 12th. To finish off. There's the hover car. Jazza now the final one to cross the line, but Gero takes the victory at the final corner. Crusher in the chat there, don't like that corner, spinning it up out of Stowe Corner on the final lap, and it hands a gift-wrapped, bowl-wrapped victory to Gero. He done well enough to close him down, put him under pressure, and the Norwegian loses it at the final corner. And that is your top 10 for this race. Gero wins, Crusher Bro second, Siege in third, Rappy on his debut in fourth as well, Jazza in fifth, Lyronics in sixth, Alan Key seventh, Maze in eighth, McKinda for you in ninth. The Zebra takes a debut, 10th for the American, 11th for Plaster, and an eventful race for Maximus in 12th. And the fastest lap of the race went to Gero, a 1 minute 5.801. Very, very quick lap time indeed. Got to say though, good recovery from Lyronics and his hover car to get up into sixth place, after the incident in lap number 1. So exciting stuff for the start of this evening's proceedings. We now have a wee short moment to catch our breaths one more time. Looks like Ben's left the session altogether, unfortunately, or maybe not, because it was Plaster that dropped out. So we should still have the 13 drivers back in the lobby. Here's hoping. We'll see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so we're down to 12. But either way, still good. But yeah, interesting stuff during that race. A few incidents we may hear more about later on, including that one with Maximus, the Zebra, and Plaster. Looks like Maximus just completely messed up his braking. Be interesting to hear how that one goes on. It'll be interesting to see. Maximus actually just said in the PSN chat that he locked up under braking there. That's what caused the incident, so be interesting. That could be a steward's inquiry. We'll see if anyone decides to put that up. We've still got more racing tonight, so don't go anywhere. We're getting the lobby changed around. We've got 15 minutes of qualifying coming up, and then we've got a 35-minute feature race ahead of us where everybody has to make at least one mandatory pit stop as well. We're just waiting, all the drivers catching their breaths and restarting for qualifying. An interesting first race indeed. Don't forget, if you are interested in joining in with the action, give us a shout at TT_PCars on Twitter, or just go to myself, Andy81287. We've still got one or two places, I think, maybe just the one, I'm not too sure. We're getting pretty full now, but obviously you could always come along as a reserve, because there's usually a place going each week. So if you are interested in that, give us a shout. Project Cars 2, PlayStation 4, you don't need to be a setup whiz, because it is a default setup league that we run here. If you don't fancy doing it on Project Cars 2 though, of course on TTTV we've got multiple leagues on F1 2018. We've got TTFL, which I've commentated on last night, a thrilling race at the Chinese Grand Prix. TTL F2, 225% races held on Sunday nights, that's tomorrow night, and obviously the top league of TTL F1, which is held on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Into the qualifying session now for what will be the feature race of the evening. A few cars already heading out onto the track. Let's just see who we've got. We've got Gero heading out the pit lane. There is, I believe, that'll be Maximus, I think, just sneaking out. No, it's not actually. It would be the Zebra. So a few cars out on track. Gero is out on track. Lyronics out on track. And the Crusher Bro out on track. So it was Lyronics that was sneaking out there just ahead of Gero. Jazz is out on the track also. And obviously a bonus point up for grabs as well for pole position, so it's not just about getting yourself a good place on the grid, there's also a bonus championship point up for grabs. Gero took the bonus point in race 1 for the fastest lap, because obviously there's a bonus point for the fastest lap of the race as well. Man of Steel in the chat, down your Red Bull or Monsters and get ready, enjoy watching it. Well, we love having you along, Man of Steel for what in the chat. Whoa, Lyronics actually trying to warm his tyres up a bit too vigorously there, getting sideways. You can be careful, Jazz is coming up behind him pretty quickly. Most drivers are out on track at the moment. Let us jump on board with race 1 Victor Gero. Let's go for the cockpit camera as we watch coming through the first corner. We'll go on for a lap of the Silverstone International Circuit, coming up through the gears towards Abbey Curve, the new turn 1, pretty much flat out through there. A little correction needed though coming out of it. Turn 2 is flat out as you head up towards turn 3, the start of the loop section. Got to get it slowed down into the apex. Very nicely done. And then obviously you don't need to worry about slowing down for the left-hander, because you go straight over that, and your next corner is this right-hander using a little bit of the grass on the inside, but game does let you away with that. And then down the long hanger straight, perfect opportunity for people to draft and slipstream their way up towards others on the track. The car ahead, I do believe, is the Crusher Bro. As we come into Stoke Corner, a little dab of the brakes down to 140 clicks, a bit sideways there as the rear tries to snap out on Gero, and then we head up to the club chicane. Pick your braking point, hard on the brakes, down to second gear, just missed the apex on the inside there, take a little bit of curb on the right, run it a little bit wide, and then flat out through the final corner and across the line. We'll see what lap time it is. It's a 107 from the Crusher Bro, and it's a 107.9 from Gero, so they're the top two on the track at the moment, as Crusher Bro 17.2. Oh, he does. The Zebra's just starting his flying lap. Jazz has just completed his in a 1 minute 10. It's actually Lyronic, sorry, who's just gone across the line behind it, as Jazz has gone right off track there at turn number 1. The Zebra's still in pit lane. Maximus just about to finish a lap as Rappy completes his lap time in a 110.8. Here comes Maximus. Eventful race number 1 for him, the number 9 machine. He's to try and have a much cleaner race in race number 2 as he crosses the line. It's a 114.9, so not the greatest lap there from him. Alan Kay's just done a 1 minute 12, as we see, who is that, Sage there with a good lap time, a 17.7. Puts himself up into second place for the meantime. McKinda for you is currently on his first flying lap at the moment, and we still have in the pit lane the Zebra, Plaster, and Maze is just heading out onto track there as he comes up from the down below pit lane that's here at Silverstone. Let's see what McKinda for you can do. Obviously a race winner so far this season. He's one of the race winners. He took the feature race in round number 1 at Alton Park. Your race winners so far: Crusher Bro's got 2 victories overall, a sprint and a feature. Gero's now got 2 sprint race victories, well, McKinda for you with that feature race at Alton Park. And we just see here McKinda for you puts himself up into 7th place for the moment in time. So Siege coming through the final couple of corners to complete his latest lap. Let's see if he improves on a 1 minute 7.743 as he heads for the line. Not an improvement this time from him, and he'll have to go one more time around. Gero is coming towards the end of his lap now, 177.59. We'll see if he can improve on that. He's one of 2 pole sitters from qualifying so far. The other is, of course, Crusher Bro. And he's unable to improve. In fact, he does improve that time by. He goes into a 1 minute 6.5 to instantly be beaten by the man behind, which is the Crusher Bro drifting through Abbey on a 1 minute 6.1. Now you think there, Crusher's probably been quite clever there, the Norwegian. He's probably drafted the Spaniard down the back straight, down Hanger Straight, gained himself a little bit of speed there to help him along. So that's, if he has done that, it's pretty clever. Lyronics is no longer in the hover car. He's decided to bin that one and leave it in the garage alongside the Lotus 83 that never got to run, if I remember my numbers correctly. Jazz is in 5th, Rappy 6th, McKinda for you just crossing the line in 7th. Alan Kay's completing his latest lap, currently in 8th. Maximus and 9th. Maze will be finishing his first lap in a moment in 12th, and Alan Kay goes up into 7th place, so he moves himself up through the field. Maze is, Siege is crossing the line in the background. Not an improvement from him, is it? Let's see. Nope, no improvement there. And the car behind's not made an improvement either. Here comes Maze into the final corner. Crusher Bro's just gone faster again, a 1 minute 5.7. That's a heck of a lap time there. He's just found another, what's that? 4/10 of a second on his latest time. That's great, really good there. Maze goes up into 10th place with his time. The Zebra is now out on track. Plaster, he'd done this last week, stayed in pit lane for the entirety of qualifying, so he might be repeating that. We'll soon see. In terms of podiums so far this season, Gero's now taken his 4th podium so far with that race victory. Crusher Bro's now taken 3 podiums out of 3 races, so he's got a 100% record of standing on the podium. Lyronics has got 2 podiums. Siege has now got himself 1, and the other podium placers are Ben, Sean, Jazza and Alan Kay. So they're the drivers that have managed to stand on the podium. A hello in the chat from Recon. Thank you very much for joining us along this evening, Recon. Good to have you along. Some phenomenal racing from yourself last night as well in TTFL. Phenomenal Chinese Grand Prix. If you've not had the chance to watch it, go back after you've seen tonight and go and watch TTFL Chinese Grand Prix from last night, because it was absolutely incredible what we seen last night. And Recon, you were right in the middle of that, and I hope to see more of the same next week on Friday from the Circuit de Catalunya for the Spanish Grand Prix. There's Siege though, one of the drivers that was in amongst that TTFL battle, currently in third place, in qualifying. He was obviously third as well in race number 1. I've got something's clearing up my screen so I couldn't see. There we go. Lyronix has just came back into pit lane, so he's decided to stop for now. Rappy still going round the track, but Kinda For You's got himself back up in the 6th place. Jazza going up the inside there of Maze. He's currently in 7th. Alan Kay's back at the pit lane in 8th. Here comes Maximus in the wars in race 1. We'll see if he can do anything coming through. Well, keep yourself in the chat, Recon. Keep yourself eyes peeled. I'm sure hopefully there'll be a wee space for you, because there was 15 drivers last night, so hopefully you'll be able to get yourself in next week. So there's some great stuff. Maximus getting sideways there. Needs to be careful because he's got a fast approaching Gero coming up. That's contact there between Maximus and Gero there. Maximus there on that occasion, he got a bit sideways, had to correct the car, and Gero just coming through, obviously had the speed there. Doesn't look like it's damaged the number 22 machine, so he might have got away with that. It might have given him some suspension damage, you never know. Let's have a wee jump on board the cockpit camera. Steering wheel's straight and true, so he's got away with that one by the looks of it. Here comes Lyronix into the club chicane. He's come. No, he's not missed the apex there. He ran wide a little bit. Squirrely on the way out of it though. That's not going to help his lap time one bit. He heads across the line now, currently in 4th position. He's pulling to the sideways there, pulling to the side of the road, so he's not going to improve. That's Crusher Bro going through, and he's just improved again. A 1 minute 5.474. That's another improvement from the Norwegian, who is absolutely flying at the moment. Gero, of course, not going to get an improvement on the lap time with the incident with Maximus. That's Siege just coming out of pit lane, along with who would that have been? The Zebra, I believe. Where is he? Nope, Zebra's on track and currently in 8th, so that'll have been Maximus then, just coming out of pit lane as well. There's Gero heading towards Hangar Straight. Maximus is staying, Kinda For You coming into pit lane. Maximus was staying out of the way there. Maze crosses the line, he's still down 11th. Plaster's decided he doesn't want to qualify, so that's fair enough. Alan Kay completing his latest lap, 5.5 seconds down on pole position. No, maybe time to turn the assists on my Irish friend to help you up the order. He's still in 9th place for the meantime. And the Zebra, the newcomer to the league, the American. Very multinational league this. We've got some Brits, we've got an Irishman, we've got a Norwegian, Spaniard, we've got a Slovenian, we've got an American, we've got one from everywhere almost. It's absolutely fantastic. It is on PS4 Recon, yes, and if you are interested, give me a shout. Saturday nights at 8. It'd be great to have you along if you've got Project Cars too. Gero not able to get he's closed the gap a little bit to Crusher, but not enough. As Crusher stays out of the way, he's actually going to return to pit lane, I would imagine. No, he's just keeping out of everybody's way. Doing the sensible thing. Put the map up, then we'll be able to see what's going on as well. And we know Crusher obviously had just done a fastest lap not long ago. When you buy it, give us a wee shout and we'll see if we can get you involved, Recon. Season runs for 8 weeks, we're on week 3, but once it finishes we're going to have a wee chat amongst the drivers and see if we carry on with this league or if we try a different car set for season number 2. One of the joys of having Project Cars 2 is obviously you can have multiple different car choices. It's just absolutely brilliant to have that choice, whereas in F1 it is obviously just F1 cars. So You get a wee bit more flexibility here. Siege coming across the line, not going to improve this time. 1.6 down on his lap time there. Ironics heads towards Stowe corner. Big sideways, but a bit side. Well, held it though. And he's going to carry on, see if he can do another lap. We're into the final 2 and a bit minutes of the qualifying session, and the top 2 are in pit lane. Possibly decided they've had enough. Oh, tank slapper there for Lyronics as he gets on the power, not running traction control. So he's obviously got to manage the wheel spin. Crusher Bro, you can see no assists at all. I know he's in pit lane at the moment, but he's on his way back out. Gero in pit lane, he runs some traction control and ABS. Remember, you can't have it on low or high. Siege is running a little bit of both as well as he comes towards Club Chicane. Lyronics is just running ABS. Rappy's the same on ABS only. Kinda for you is running no assists at all, going for the authentic feel. Same for Jazza. Well, we have ABS for the Zebra. Alan K running the no assist authentic feel. Maximus running a bit of both. May's running a bit of both, and Plaster runs a bit of both as well, currently in pit lane. Good luck in your race, Recon. Hopefully we'll see you back here soon. Nice to have you along even for a short while, my friend. Enjoy your race, and hopefully it's as exciting and as enjoyable and a good result for you like it was last night. That's Alan Kay going through the screen just ahead of the Crusher Bro. Gero's decided to stay in pit lane, and that's Alan Kay going sideways, doing exactly what Crusher did at the end of the sprint race, just getting completely sideways out of Stowe corner, and manages to collect it though without crashing into anything. That's Siege doing the same thing, although he'd done it more on the entrance to Stowe there, so a very, very tricky corner indeed. Ironics coming through the loop section. Rappy's about to start a lap. That is kinda for you being drafted by Jazza, so that's 6th and 7th. Coming down towards Stowe. Will either of these guys make a mistake under the clouds? We're not going to have any rain tonight, but the cloud cover is obviously going to make a difference, and temperatures for the tyres. The Zebra crossing the line. What can the American do? Can he improve in a 1:9.0? Not on this occasion he can. 4 temps down on that effort. Jazza's back into pit lane. Kinda for you heading for the line. Can he improve in a 1:8.6? The Slovenian? Nope, that's going to be 4 temps down as well. Rappy heading for the line now. Can he improve in a 1:8? He's well off the pace on that one. Here comes Lyronics, the next one to go across the line. Can he improve in his 1:8.0 and get into the 1:7s? And he crosses the line. He's 2 temps down as well. So the driver's finding it difficult to find these last few tenths of a second out on this track as Siege goes drifting again through Stowe corner. The top 2 are back in pit lane. The Crusher Bros came out but decided to go back to pits. Checkered flag falls, so Siege is going to be across the line. He's going to be the first one to cross over at the end of the session. Let's see if he can improve in a 1:7.743. And he's unable to do so as he finishes his qualifying session. Meanwhile, Ironics is off the track up at the Hangar Straight, so he's not going to be improving. Rappy coming through. I think that was kinda for you going through the shot. It was indeed. Alan Kay's just been off the track. Zebra still in 7th. Here it goes, kinda for you, the Slovenian. Across the line. And he's improved up to 4th position. Good lap there from kinda for you at the death. Rappy crossing the line. Can he improve on 6th? No improvement there from him. Ironics back at the pit lane, and obviously Alan Kay had that mistake, so we have our grid, and it is the Crusher Bro who takes the bonus point for pole position, 6 times clear of Gero in 2nd place. I'll just jump here, we go, that's a wee bit more like it. Siege takes 3rd with kinda for you in 4th, and there we go. Qualifying session is over, and the bonus point goes to the Norwegian. 2nd week in a row he takes pole position. And if you have a look at the split times, most of the time has been made through sectors 1 and sector 3. Pretty much even Stevens between him and Gero in the 2nd sector, but it's pole position for Crusher Bro. Gero takes second, Siege in third, so it's the top three from race number 1 in terms of finishing, just not in that order, and the top three again. McKinda for you in fourth, Lyronics in fifth, Rappy in sixth, Zebra in seventh, so there you go, you got a Norwegian, a Spaniard, a Brit, a Slovenian, 2 Germans and an American in the top 7th. 8th place for Jazza, 9th for Alan Kay, and in 10th place was Maze. So 35 minutes of a feature race ahead of us, and obviously all the drivers need to make at least one pit stop during this race. Do remember, it might not be enforced by the game, but if you don't make the pit stop you will be disqualified. So we're just waiting on the drivers readying up here to start the last proceedings for the evening. "12 drivers to the grid." Just keep an eye on that timer there. You can see it's going down, but it will change back to 35 minutes as soon as everybody readies up. You can see that's Rappy there waiting on the grid. Crusher on pole position. There's Gero in second. Siege in third, with McKinda for you in fourth. And here we go, they are getting ready for the start of the feature race for tonight's race. The lights are coming on, you can hear the chimes. And we are underway for the feature race. Looks like McKinda for you's got a brilliant start. He's already going to be trying to make up places. Crusher Bro's got through. We're going to go 3 wide almost into turn 1. Siege has made his way into second. Gero holds on to third. We've got a car going sideways at the back there. Sideways car at the back. It is Lyronics spinning through Abby. He's managed to avoid any contact by the looks of it with anybody as they come up into the loop for the first time. Jazza making his way through, putting Maze onto the grass there. That's going to allow Plaster a chance. Oh, he's been given the squeeze as well as Maximus comes up alongside also. And look at that, round the outside of them all goes Maze. He just took 2 places there in one go. Lyronics is going to go through in the middle, 3 wide at the back, or 3 wide down the middle as well. Got the Zebra, Rappy, and oh goodness me, I can't even tell who's who. Got the Zebra there, McKinda for you, and Rappy's going to go round the outside of the 3 of them, is he? Can he hold that one out at the end? He's got the move done. No, McKinda for you's held on. He's managed to take 5th place. Can he break later into the chicane there? That is the Zebra giving a wee nudge to McKinda for you through the club chicane. And they come through, and the Zebra's managed to get back through as well. And he's now going to challenge onto the back of McKinda for you. Gero has made his way back through ahead of Siege already, as into pit lane is Lyronics, missing a rear wing as well now. So that's interesting. Has anyone else got any damage to their car? It'll be interesting to see. Maximus down the back, he's fine. Maze is alright, so's Alan K. Jazza's fine, Rappy's fine. Everybody's front wings are fine, but Lyronics minus his rear wing. He's made it back to pit lane, and if he can keep the car clean for the rest of the race, that'll mean he doesn't need to make another pit stop, because he has already made his pit stop now. Can do that on lap 1 as long as it's just for damage, and that is fine. Here we go, coming into Stone. The Zebra's going to check his chances on McKinda for you. A late breaking move up the inside from the American there, and it looks like he's got that move done, and he does indeed. Going to jump on board with McKinda for you. He's gone up the inside of picking the camera angles at the wrong point. Late in the brakes, he's spun his contact with the Zebra there, just missed the braking point a little bit, did McKinda for you. That allows Rappy through into 4th place. McKinda for you's on 5th at the moment with Jazza 6th. That drops the Zebra down to 7th. He's checking his car for any damage. It could be he has suspension damage maybe, because he's pulling to the left a bit as he goes through. Let's just have a look as he comes through, drifting through. Yeah, he's having to hold the steering wheel to the left, look. He's having to hold that steering wheel to the left hand side. He has suspension damage on that car, and it has not been the greatest night so far for him. Gero's made his way up in the 1st place, so Crusher's made a mistake somewhere I believe, because he was quite a bit ahead. Car off in the background as well, and that is Jazza running wide. We need to come back here as Crusher tries his chances to get the lead back off of Gero. Siege isn't too far behind him either. Game spits him through. Rappy's got McKinda for behind. The Zebra's getting a train coming behind him in just a moment. Lyronics going up the inside of Maze, and it just jumps about there at the wrong point, but I just can't get him. He's actually now. That's Alan trying to make his way past. on the zebra into pit lane. So that is Lyronics there that I'm getting mixed up with, I believe. Where are we? As they jump through the order, zebra and pit lane. It is Jazza. It is Lyronics, but he's obviously a lap down. That's what's confusing me. So there we go. Sorry for jumping through the screens. Getting mixed up with who's where. Gero leads, Crusher Bro in second, Siege in third, Rappy in fourth. He's got McKinda for you still chasing him down in fifth. Jazza sixth with Alan K seventh, Maze in eighth, Maximus in ninth, the Zebra and Pit Lane in 10th place, and Lyronics in the middle of it all, but he is a lap down, having made his pit stop already in this race. Crusher Bro closing on to the back of the Spaniard ahead. We jump on board with a nose cam coming through Stowe Corner. This is where he trucked the race away at the end. And we have lost the Zebra. He's dropped out of the race as well. So we're down to 11 drivers. But he's not out of the race, I don't think, actually. No, he's still there. He's coming out of pit lane. I thought he had dropped out there for a second. He is still with us, knowing that he needs to finish the race as Gero tries to break the slipstream a little bit and then comes back to the racing line to take the corner. He's run a little bit wide there, coming through Abbey Curb. 5 minutes gone already. That's flew by in no time at all. Siege has dropped off a little bit from the back of here. McKinda for you is trying his best to try and get fourth place off for Rappy. And we have a few incidents in both races tonight. I think the stewards might be a little bit busy at the end of tonight's proceedings. Here comes Crusher. He's got a great run down Hanger Straight. Can he hold it round the outside? Can he be late enough on the brakes on Gero? They go side by side through Stowe Corner, but Gero's going to hold on for now. Crusher unable to take the momentum through, and that's a spin up ahead, and that is the Zebra losing it, and he's dropped now. He has retired from the race now, so he has dropped out now. We're down to 10 drivers. We have lost 2 cars from this race already. I'm trying to figure out who the other one is that we've lost. It will be Plaster, so we've lost Plaster from the race as well. So Zebra and Plaster out of the race. Zebra having to make his pit stop after contact with McKinda for you. Looks like the Slovenian locked up into the club chicane, got his braking all wrong, but again, be interesting to see point of views from later on possibly, because that could end up with the stewards. But this is the battle for the lead of this race. Crusher Bro and Gero battling down towards Stowe Corner again. You can see the Spaniard just pulls to the left ever so slowly. He's going to try and then keep the line. He's going to have to stay to the inside now, as the Crusher Bro is going to try and sweep round the outside of the Spaniard. You can see the car just twitching on the Norwegian there, and they're still side by side coming up to the club chicane. Can he get the move done as they come into the chicane here late on the brakes? And that's a good move there from Crusher Bro to take over the lead of the race, but Gero's going to go the long way down. Oh, contact between them there, and Gero's ended up halfway towards Donington Park at that rate. Crusher Bro just getting a little bit sideways. He's weighted up though, and Gero is into the lead, so maybe realised he'd caused a little bit of a mistake. Now Gero's going to let him go back through actually by the looks of it, so these guys giving a bit of respect to each other. Oh, that's done though. Look at this, Siege coming right up the back of them in the 30 car. Gero to the outside of Crusher Bro. I think Crusher's got damage possibly to that number 2 machine. Let's quickly jump on board with a cockpit camera, see if he's turning it to one side or not. Let's have a wee check on here. No, everything's looking good, so maybe just thinking best thing to do is to let Gero go back through because it was a mistake. McKinda for you has got through on Rappy behind. And we need to follow this as Crusher now to the inside line into Stowe Corner. Can he get the move done this time? No, he's done what he done in race number 1. He's off and into the wall this time though. Can he get it into reverse? Yes he can. He's lost some of his front wing. He's going to be into pit lane for sure. He is missing that front wing. You can see it now. He's surely going to be heading for pit lane, but it means he can get his pit stop out of the way. Mistake there from the Norwegian as he heads for pit lane, and that's going to get his pit stop out of the way. Siege is now going to try and chase down Gero, and Gero's got himself a time penalty of 1 second already. You can note that from the red on the number 1. Rappy is not far behind McKinda for you. That's now 3rd and 4th. We've got 5th place in a minute will be Alan Kay once he goes past, and he seems to have been taking the cones with him as he's trying to do a day's work. Jazza though is going to say, I don't care about your cone, I'm going to come past. Alan picking up an ornament to go with his car here tonight. Crusher, the fact you've got time to put a message in the chat when you're in pit lane's crazy. Things happen, you know, you let Gerald back through, I've got to respect that side of things as Jazza makes his way through on Alan Kay. Maze is now up to 7th, that's Maximus in 8th. Crusher, should be coming out of pit lane very shortly, and indeed here he comes, heading out of pit lane, so he's going to be down to 9th place. Ironics will be in 10th. And we come back to the front though as Gero now goes through to complete another lap, and that's going to put Crusher Bro a lap down, because it is obviously quite a short lap here, and obviously damage to the car is going to mean a longer pit stop than you would normally have to deal with. So that's a lap down for Crusher, but Gero still needs to make a pit stop at some point in this race. Meanwhile, Alan Kay's managed to get rid of his ornamental cone. He's going to try and see if he can get 5th place back off of Jazza. Just can't get the power down coming out of the club chicane. Meanwhile, Maximus trying to close up onto the back of Maze. It's not been the easiest of weeks so far for Maximus. He obviously made the mistake in turn number 1. Gero's decided to come into pit lane. So it's a pit stop for the race leader. That's going to put Siege up into 1st position. And there he goes. So Gero in pit lane, the mechanics get to work. He's going to put the Slovenian Kinda For You up into 2nd place for the meantime. And that might just promote the German Rappi into 3rd as well. Gero is back underway. Rappi has gone through. Jazza coming up, so Gero's going to come back out in 4th place, which is going to be good for him. Obviously not having to make the stop for damage to the car like Crusher did, so he's now 5 places clear after Crusher's mistake meant he's in the wall. Whoa, amazing Maximus there. That was a lag bubble if I've ever seen one, going through there, taking one of the advertising signs with them. All the bits are still on the car though. They go through turn number 1 Abbey curve. Maximus looks fast in certain parts of the track, but just a little bit too over-eager at times, I think. He's got to be careful. He's obviously running some of the assists obviously, but still easy enough to lock up. Probably got it on a low set, and that's Siege going through a lap ahead of Crusher Bro, but we know that Norwegian car is quick. But Siege on his debut evening, taking 3rd place in race 1. Took 3rd place in the grid for this one. Currently leading the race, but he's still to make his pit stop. You got to keep an eye on Gero. He's only 15 seconds behind as the Spaniard, but he does have a 1 second time penalty. And he is coming up to the back of Rappi for 3rd place. I think he needs to try and dispatch the German as quickly as possible. And he's going to get a phenomenal run coming down the back straight. I think Ironics is into pit lane. No, he's not actually. Sorry, I'm looking at something else. It's okay. Maze is still trying to get back past Maximus, who's got him ahead. And Gero right behind on Rappi. The German getting a bit squirrely out of stall. And an easy move for the Spaniard there as they come up to the club chicane. And that's 3rd position there for Gero. Rappi has to drop down to 4th for the meantime. Jazza pretty lonely in 5th. Alan Kay pretty lonely in 6th. There's Maximus. Still got Maze right behind him, 7th and 8th. Crusher Bro. Oh, Crusher's been off the track again. That's him just recovering. He's spun coming through Abbey, and it spat him right off to the side of the track, and now he's off again, just pushing a little bit too hard. He needs to just keep it going in the right direction. He needs to finish the race to get points. It's the first time in these races, because last week he was pretty much untouchable. The first time tonight we've seen some chinks in the armour for the Norwegian. Lyronic's down in 10th, having had to make that stop on lap number 1. May's still trying to chase down Maximus. Siege has picked himself up a little 1 second time penalty. Gero's up to 11 seconds worth of penalties. That might come back to haunt him, unless of course they were unjust, but we'll need to see. He obviously run by the rules. Okay, Mike's fine. Track limits are on, and that means that Gero's going to have 11 seconds added to his finishing time, and that could make a big difference from where he finishes. Lyronic's the other one with penalties. Gero's catching back up though to the back of McKinda for you pretty quickly to come on to the hangar straight. Oh, Crusher, the engine's died in pit lane. So he's just popped in the chat there, the engine died. So where, let's see where he is. Is he come? No, his engine's out. So engine damage means that Crusher Bro looks like he is out of this race, and that is absolute heartbreak for the Norwegian. He'd been obviously very, very quick. Clutch is gone, can't get it in gear, and that's what's done it. Something's gone, dearie me. So that is a DNF, it looks like, for Crusher, unless he can get that car going again. That'll put us down to 9. Mays has came into pit lane, so that drops him out of the challenge. It kind of for you's dropped down to 3rd place because Gero's got past him there while we were having a look at Crusher. Siege still leads. Don't need to be sorry to us, Crusher, it happens. Mechanical failures are on, and it can happen. That means obviously a DNF for the Norwegian, meaning that he's going to score more points in this feature race. That's going to be helpful for those around him in the championship, and especially for this man, Gero. Championship leader coming into tonight, took 25 points from race number 1. And he's going to try and see if he can take the 35 points for race number 2 as well. Alan Kay's into pit lane as well now. Maximus now up to 6. Rappy still in 4th with Jazza 5th. Lyronic's coming through. He's now in 8th place now that Mays has made his pit stop, so that puts Lyronic's up a place. See Maximus there. Things happen. It could have been 35 points for you, Crusher, but I'm sure you'll come back next week for the next round, because next week, if I remember correctly, I believe we're going travelling next week. Let me just check here quickly. Yep, next week we go on one of the 2 overseas rounds. So next week we are in Hockenheim at the GP circuit for the next round next week, before we then go to Zolder for round number 5, and then we return to my home track at Knockhill for round 6, and then Donington National, and finish at Brands Hatch GP circuit. So good few racetracks coming up. As you see Maximus heading into pit lane, Jazz is already in pit lane, Rappy catching the grass there going through Stowe. Siege is still carrying on, 12 seconds clear of the Spaniard Gero in 1st place, but Siege still to make a pit stop at the moment. Neither has McKinda for you. Rappy's not been in either, I don't think, so Gero in 2nd place, and having made a pit stop already, is looking good to extend his championship lead here. And with Crusher being out, that's going to obviously make things a little bit easier for the Spaniard if he keeps it on the track. You'll see him just pop into sight probably in the background in a moment. There he was, just at the top of the screen at the last second there. Lyronic's, after that first lap incident cost him his wing, has already made himself back up to 6th place. Maximus back out in 7th. Alan Kay doing a bit of grass cutting there in 8th. And Mays down in 9th position, running around at the back at the moment, but to score points you need to finish, and at the moment that's what he's trying to do. You can see McKinda for you just up ahead. In fact, no, it wasn't, sorry, that's Maximus who's behind, and that'll be Lyronix who's just up ahead then. I do apologise, I'm getting mixed up with the cars. Some of them do look similar, which doesn't help me. There is Jazza. Now he's been quick as Jazza. Sometimes just a little bit too quick though. Kinda for you going through in third place at the moment. Still to pit. Siege though up at the front. You can see Gero's closing in around about a second at a lap at a time. And obviously Siege is still to pit in that number 30 car. And as I said earlier in the sprint race, that colour scheme does remind me of an old Benetton from back in the day. Turbo days. So rocking the retro look is Siege. Meanwhile Ironics is onto the back of Jazza, and in the background there you can see Alan Kay starting to close up onto the back of Maximus. So we've got a couple of battles developing down towards the back end of the field. Jazza's run wide through Stowe corner. That's going to allow Ironics the very best chance to try and put one up the inside into club, but Jazza goes to the defensive line on the inside, going to force Ironics to go the long way round. He's now going to have to go the long way round the right-hander. Can he get the power down? They're going side by side through the final corner. A little bit of a bump there. That's pushed the German off the track slightly. He holds on for now. Probably got a warning as well, so he'll probably back out. Not going to go side by side through Abbey Curve. No, back out of it. Ironics is going to cut back on Jazza, and he's going to get the move done quite nicely actually out of Abbey before they hit farm. Jazza looks to go on the inside. Oh, nearly locked up his braking there. That was very, very close indeed, but he's managed to make the move stick. Alan Kay closing up to the back of Maximus there. So he's getting pretty close there as the Irishman to Maximus. We are up to the 18th lap of this race, 14.5 minutes to go. And your leader is still Siege. The gap now though is down to 8.5 seconds to Gero in second place. Siege still to make his pit stop. Kinda for you, the Slovenian in third. 20 seconds off the lead, 8 seconds clear of Rapi, who's in fourth place, and just going past Jazza there to lap him. Ironics in fifth, Jazza 6th, Maximus 7th, Alan Kay in 8th, and Mason 9th. The top 5 down to 9 have stopped, so Rapi I don't think has stopped yet. Neither has Kinda for you or Siege. Gero is the only one in the top 4 who has made his mandatory pit stop so far. And you see Jazza running wide there, coming out of Abbey Curve. He's gone very wide, catching a little bit of grass, but not doing any gardening work on this occasion. Meanwhile, Alan Kay coming through the same sequence of corners, trying to close up to the back of Maximus. Go onto the roof camera, looking down onto the track. You can see Alan just taking it very easy through that transition part where there's a big bump there that you don't expect. You see he's just taking it very gently on the throttle through that part so he doesn't spin the wheels up. And Plaster, obviously we knew he'd already been out of session. He's now left. Zebra obviously disconnected earlier as well, unfortunately. And Crusher Bro with that failure out of the session. So that's your 3 retirements from this race. Gero's got the gap down to 7.5 seconds, so taking another half a second out of that lap. 1:07.3 or 1:07.9. Running very wide through that right hander, but I do believe with the track limits you can get away with it. And 12.5 minutes to go in this feature race. There's Kinda for you, still got his pit stop to make at some point. Rapi having a nice debut in the 58 car. Took some good points in race 1, there's going to be more good points in race number 2. And Siege is into pit lane, so the race leader is into pit lane. I would ignore those tyres because I doubt he's changing them, certainly not for wets, and he's underway already. And that's the thing, you don't need to change tyres as long as you stop and come to a complete stop. That is suitable enough, but that puts Gero back into the lead of the race. Kinda for you coming through. Now where's he going to come out in comparison? There's Siege there, coming out of pit lane. Kinda for you is going to sneak through for the meantime, but it's going to be a short-lived celebration in second place because he's still to make a pit stop, I do believe, in this race. Siege comes back out in third place on track, but he's still ahead of Rappy, so it's going to be a net P2 once the pit stop phase has filtered its way out. Rappy in 4th, there's Lyronix in 5th. Jazza, oh, now he is definitely going off track. Not as much grass over there though. Alan K, he's got himself past Maximus. There's Maximus there, so he's dropped back. He's soon going to have Maze right behind him as well, so Maximus is going to have to be careful. They could become a potential target for Maze towards the end of this race. Coming into the final 10 minutes here for TTP Cars Formula C League Season 1, round number 3 from Silverstone International. Your race leader is the Spaniard Jero, who won race number 1 in the most amazing circumstances as Crusher Bro spun it at Stowe Corner on the final lap of the race, handing the victory to Jero as Rappies just came into pit lane from P4. It's Jero who leads at the moment. Man of Steel, the lawnmower man, is back. Well, unfortunately, there's not as much lawn to mow over that part there in the loops. It's all just been paved over. But he's attempting it. He's certainly attempting it as Jazza. He done it quite a bit last week in Snetterton, to the point that he must have been asking them for wages. He'd done that much. But he's kept all 4 wheels in the car. He's kept all the bits and pieces attached to it as well, so he's still pushing on. Siege is on the back of it, kinda for you. Having a great debut night, and McKinda finally makes his way into pit lane for his mandatory pit stop, so it's going to promote Siege back up into P2. Be interesting to see where McKinda for you comes back out. He should come back out ahead of Rappy quite easily. It should be a net P3 for the Slovenian. Ironics coming through, currently 5th position. It's going to allow him to gain the lap back on McKinda for you. He's got about 30 seconds to gain on the car ahead, so not ideal. And Ironics coming through in the 59 car. There's Rappy. He's running the 58, which is normally, I believe, I'm trying to figure out because the car colours are just so awkward sometimes. I think the Zebra's running that. McKinda for you back out, and he is easily in 3rd place. He's got a good 15 seconds almost. So that's an easy 3rd place for him at the moment. Excuse me. Rappy, as I say, in 4th. Lyronix trying to catch him, but quite far back in 5th. Jazza in 6th. Alan K in 7th. Maximus in 8th. Maze dropped off a little bit in 9th. Looked like he's going to close up to the back of Maximus before long, and obviously, unfortunately for him, he has dropped off a little bit. The car's all spaced out at the moment. A few cars coming down the back straight. Rappy. Car behind is Maximus. The car behind that is your race leader. That is Jero coming through. And we look at the standings. 11-second penalty is not going to make a difference at the moment. And for the meantime as well, because he's obviously finishing the race, he's easily got the fastest lap, a 1 minute 6.1 in comparison to a 1:73 for Siege and a 1:76 for Lyronix. But Lyronix with a 10-second penalty as well. He's got enough of a gap at the moment, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. But one mistake might cost him before the end of this race. 7.5 minutes to go here at Silverstone, and Jero has just been pretty comfortable through most of this meeting. Had to chase it down in race number 1. Crusher made the mistake. At race 2, after Crusher made a mistake again at the same corner, this time damaging his wing, Jero has disappeared up into the loop in front and has been pretty comfortable for the most part. Kinda for you, I'll be happy to take take a podium though. Having won in Alton Park, didn't do too great last time out at Snetterton. Rappy with a decent debut, the top 5 in both races I do believe, should he finish there. And Lyronix, having got caught out in lap 1 in both races, I'll be glad to come back through and gain some decent points should he carry on to the end of the race. Jazza running wide and oh no, I thought he's cut the grass. There we go. He did decide to cut a little bit, just a trim on that occasion. He's in 6th, Alan Kay in 7th, Maximus coming through Abbey. 8th place for Maximus, and Mays is your 9th and final runner on the road. Your 3 retirements are Plaster, the Zebra and Crusher Bro. 3 retirements from this race with 6 minutes left to go. Oh, that's Mays making a bit of a mistake there. Not the way you want to be doing things, coming out of what is the loop section. And this is your race leader. The 20, is it 21? I can never read the numbers. Every time I do it, I always miss them. But he's looking pretty good coming up to the back of Alan Kay. It's the 22 car he's in, that's it, there you go. 21 second lead over this man Siege, who in both races tonight has been pretty quiet, but going about his business in a very good way. His debut, that'll give him some really good points in the championship. The same format kinda for you with 3rd position. He's currently got a 15 second lead roughly over Rappy in 4th, with Lyronics in 5th, a good 30 seconds down. Jazza is a good bit down on Lyronics in 6th, with Alan Kay trying to hunt him down in 7th. 6 seconds between them at the moment, and a few cars that have just lapped them. Maximus trying to hunt down the Irishman in 8th, and Mays currently going around in 9th for the set, and he'll just be probably just making sure he gets to the end of the race now. That's what he will be doing. If you're still around, who's your driver of the night? I mean, it's going to be kind of hard to look past Zero with a fastest lap and 2 race victories and 2 fastest laps. The only thing he missed out on to do the absolute nightly Grand Slam is the pole position. That's the only thing he's going to miss out on. But another shout has to go to Siege as well. His debut night here in Project Cars 2, and he's going to take away 2 podium positions, so he's going to be pretty chuffed with that. And a shout also has to go towards Lyronics. Having got caught out in both races in the first lap with damage, he's managed to pull his way back through the field pretty nicely indeed and gain himself some decent points for his championship, so I'm sure he'll be absolutely chuffed with that for the end of proceedings here. You see Jazza's now got, that is like kinda for you going round, no, it's Rappy going round to lap, I'm sorry. And Jazza just runs a bit wide through Stowe there as the German goes through to put him a lap behind. Nicely they're going on to complete his 28th lap, about to start lap 29 with 3 minutes to go. Probably about 3 more laps left unless he decides to slow down, but with 11 seconds of penalties I doubt he'll be doing that very much, just in case it comes back and bites him on the backside. The joys of my microphone means you have to listen to me drinking. There you go. Obviously as well, we're just having this lull because it is obviously a bit quiet at this point of the race here this evening. Tomorrow evening TTL F2 will be on around about the same time, 8 o'clock. 2 races, 25% for each. Be the Bahrain Grand Prix and the Chinese Grand Prix, repeating the same calendar as TTL F1, but just both races on the same night. So there'll be commentary on that tomorrow night from 8 o'clock. Tuesday night, should hopefully have Kieran McGinley back in the commentary box for TTL F1 from the Baku City Street circuit for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, and hopefully we'll be along for Thursday night as well, where it's the Spanish Grand Prix from the Circuit de Catalunya, and I'll be back on TTTV on Friday evening for TTFL, which is also the Spanish Grand Prix from the Circuit de Catalunya, before I'm back here next week for the next round of this Project Cars FC League, and that'll be coming from the Hockenheim Grand Prix circuit, all running from 8 o'clock UK time. If you've not already done so, hit subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, so you're notified every time that we go live with any of the events on TTTV. One more subscriber to hit 200. Does anybody want to make it 200 for the end of the evening? I'll go back and check it before I finish the stream up and see if anyone's there in the chat just now that is not subscribed wants to hit that button. We will soon see. Obviously, new F1 season starts next week as well. If you are interested in that, obviously I do have my own little YouTube channel. Plug. Where I will be doing some season preview and race reviews. So if you do enjoy that kind of thing, do drop on to myself, Andy81287. I plug obviously the TTTV stuff all the time, but if you're interested in the real life stuff, I'll be doing race reviews throughout the season over on my channel. If you are interested in that, drop me a sub, it would be very much appreciated. Final minute, final lap of the race, and Gero's on his way to a lovely race victory, helped by the issues with Crusher spinning and Stowe, and then having seems to have been a clutch issue for him. Siege is going to come through for second and have a very good debut night. Kinda for you is going to complete the podium. You can see Gero there in the background. He's lapped everybody up to third place. Kinda for you. Rappy just behind there in fourth for a good night, and Lyronix just crossing the line in fifth. But the Spaniard comes through Stowe for the last time, just gently trail breaks his way in, back on the throttle, up through the gears towards Club Chicane for the final time, and it's going to be a double race victory on the night for the Spaniard. The first time he's done that this season. It'll be his third race victory of the year as well. He crosses the line, the timer has run out, he's taking it easy because he doesn't realise the timer's run out yet, but he does now, and he's going to cross over the line now, and he's going to win the feature race. A fantastic result from him. That's Rappy coming across the line to take fourth place in this one. Jazz is going to finish in sixth. Alan Kay had caught up to him there, you can just see the Irishman not needing another lap or two to get past. So Jazz at sixth, Alan Kay in seventh. There's Maximus crossing the line to take 8th place. Been an interesting night for Maximus, as that Siege crossing the line there, take a brilliant second place on his debut night. Well done to Siege there on 2 podiums tonight. Mays comes over the line to finish in 9th place. He'll just be happy to pick up some more points, keep out of trouble as much as he possibly could. And the last one to cross the line is the Slovenian Mick Kinda for you in the 10 car. Heading through the final few corners now, and it's going to be third place and a final step in the podium for him. That's going to be some more good points in the championship for Mick Kinda for you as he crosses the line. But it is the Spaniard Gero who takes the race victory and the fastest lap of the race to boot as well. Siege in second with a double podium on his debut, and Mick Kinda for you takes the final podium in third. Only the top 3 on the lead lap, with Rappy and Lyronix a lap down in 4th and 5th. Jazza in 6th, Alan Kay 7th, Maximus in 8th, and Mays in 9th, 2 laps down on the race leader. And I do like seeing all the differences in the flags there. Although I don't think Maximus is Norwegian, I think that's picked that one up with Crusher, but there you go. Always does that. It's had me as a Brazilian once, so there you go. But that is it. We are at the end of this evening's proceedings. I thank each and every one of you who has joined us throughout the stream, to the likes of Man of Steel, even to Crusher Bro himself, jumping in the chat. Recon jumped in a bit before his race. Thank you to him if you do watch this back. Maze at the start as usual, jumping in and popping into his little comments as usual. But that is it for this evening's proceedings. It's been some really good action once again here from the Formula C League on Project Cars. Just say, if you've not already done so, subscribe to TTTV, become the 200th sub. There's not a giveaway unfortunately, but it would be lovely if you could be 200 on there. But we have commentaries, as I say, all throughout the week. Tomorrow night TTL F2, TTL F1 during the week, TTFL on Friday, and I'm back on Saturday evening. But that is it. Thank you very much for watching from us. For the drivers, everyone involved with me. Thank you very much for watching. And